Hello, everyone. I was reminded recently in studying for one of the messages on our series, Running with the Giants, of a very interesting interaction between a woman named Deborah, who was a judge of Israel at that time, and a man named Barak. She was told by God to go and, with this man's leadership, Barak, to go and fight the Canaanites who had been oppressing them. And in Judges, the 4th chapter, verse 8, she goes and says, you know that this is God's word. And he said, I am not going to go unless you go with me. If you go with me, I'll go and fight them. If you don't go with me, I won't. For me, it highlights not just what we're going through now, but a basic conundrum of life. There's a big word. A frustration that we have in life. Many times we know what we should be doing, but we don't do it because we feel so alone in that. There's a couple things that I want to bring out with the story that I believe will be very encouraging to you. We live, just like in those days, in a very negative, chaotic, dark world. And it's kind of hard to stand for what you know is right when you think you're going to be standing alone. So if you feel like you're alone, you need to do like Barak did and admit to Deborah, admit to somebody in your life who's faithful and you know has your back, I'm struggling with this. Usually when people say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine, we're doing fine, best I can do. And instead of really, he said, man, I'm struggling. If you go with me, I'll do this. If not, I'm not going alone. So let somebody know you're struggling. And secondly, we need to be those people that come alongside somebody that we know is struggling, like Deborah did, and say, man, I will go with you. Instead of just telling somebody, hey, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, it's better to say, man, I know God's speaking to you about something, and I'll walk with you every step of the way. When I was a pastor, as a very young man, we were going through a very dark period in our church's history. And I had a man who was not very much for words. His name was Cecil Hainline, and Cecil walked up to me one day knowing I was going through some hard things, and he didn't come up to me and say, hey, I'll be a pastor with you, because that wasn't what he was called to do. He just came up with me and said, Pastor, I'm going to walk with you every step of this way, and if it works, I'll be with you. If it doesn't work, I'll be the last one out, turn out the lights. That greatly encouraged me to do what God had called me, because I knew I wasn't alone in it. Go be an encouragement to somebody today who you know is going through a difficult time. And if you are going through a difficult time, let someone know so they can go through that with you. We'll see you again next time.